Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and I'm back with some more college basketball picks for you for today. Let me even double check the date. Monday, February 17th. So one thing I'm loving about jumping into college ball, which is just, a few days now, is there's so many teams, there's so many games. The slates are all massive. When we're playing NBA, it's like if we get like 12 games on a slate, we're excited. That's like a good slate, and that's just like seems like a normal day for college basketball. So really excited that I jumped into this, and we're trying to string together some wins. It is an adjustment for me, but before long we'll have college and NBA to really dive into all sorts of basketball and try to string together some wins here. Yesterday, 2-2, so did not work out the way I wanted it to. We took Jackson Shellstead over 20.5 PRA. He went for 23. He cashed it. Stephen Ashworth, I was really excited about this play at 26.5, and he went for 38. He crushed it. Micah Parrish, both of these, Ace Bailey and Micah Parrish, both of these plays were pretty similar in the sense that they both just absolutely stunk from the field. Ace Bailey, he got the minutes that we were hoping for, 29 minutes, so just below the 30 mark that we were aiming for. He goes 4 for 13 and 0 for 4 from beyond the arc, so 4 of 13, terrible outing. And then Micah Parrish, 37 minutes. You can't ask for more. And then he goes for 9 total points, 2 of 11 from the field, 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. I was actually watching this game after church, and Ohio State, I watched them go on like a 0-10 or 0-11 run from the field. It was rough. They were just throwing up bricks, and they ended up losing this game 86-83. They kind of started to get some things rolling, but Micah was not a part of that. I think he got his first bucket at the end of the first half, and it was a dunk. Other than that, it was a rough outing. So gonna make that mental note, keep that in mind next time I'm looking at these guys, because that was just like really rough outing. But anyways, if it wasn't for the poor shooting performance, they got the minutes. It was looking good, but they ended up falling short. So let's talk about today. So I'm gonna go flex only for a little bit here with the way I'm approaching these. I want to string together some college wins, and then I might start changing up my approach. But for now, I'm just going 2 units flex, and I do feel good about all 4 of these plays. One of them got bumped on me while I was, getting ready to lock it in, and I still like it. But we're going to go Tyrese Proctor for Duke over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jake Wahlin, I think is how you say it. We're going 5.5 rebounds. Maybe my favorite play of the day. This is a play, rebounds that I might take a demon. He's got multiple options for demons, and I like all of them, even all the way up to the 8.5. But KJ Lewis, we're just going to go rebounds and assists over 8. Really like this play. And then Coleman Hawkins, 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So yeah, let's see if we can't get the sweep today, guys. Appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me with my new channel. If you don't mind, just do me a favor and like the video or drop me a comment. You guys know how much that helps me. I'm less than 200 subs away from hitting that 1,000 mark, which is what I've been aiming for. And you guys are helping me get there quick, so I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about plays or anything, just hit me up in the comments. I'll do a little bit of research and get back to you. And I'll just go through my same process that I do when I'm making these videos and selecting these plays. Tyrese Proctor, we took Cooper Flagg in that last game that Duke had, and he got it done for us. We took him over 38.5 fantasy score, and he just barely got it done. It was kind of a slow start, and then he really turned things up, and then it was comfortable at the end there. He went for 40, so just, not like he crushed the line, but his lines are higher, because he's such a good player, and it was nice that we took the fantasy score because he did have a couple of steals in that game, playing good defense as usual. So this matchup for Tyrese, though, Tyrese popped off in that game that we took Cooper Flagg, and I was really impressed. He's been in rhythm right now, and he's really aggressive offensively, which is why I love this 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Matchup is tough. 24th in points allowed, 79th in rebounds allowed, 50th in assists allowed. But he's totally been in rhythm, 100% hit rate over his last 5 games. His lowest outing was 20, coming off this game like we were just talking about against Stanford, where he went for 23 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. So 16.5, I'll take it all day. These last 5 games, he's averaging 31.2 minutes, 1.4 fouls, keeping it clean, 54% from the field on 13 attempts. So I'm totally happy with that. And then 49% from beyond the arc, 3.6 made threes a game over this 5-game stretch. Not getting to the line very often, but 75% hit rate. So looking good. And if we take a look at the head-to-head here, last time they played, which was last year, so you got to kind of keep that in mind a little bit. But I think that they're, I don't know for sure, but if I had to guess, I would say they're maybe even a little bit better this year. And the only reason I say that is because I didn't watch a whole lot of college ball last year. I always keep up with my father-in-law because he's a Duke fan, but I would imagine that they seem like they're playing really good ball this year. So I think that he should have a chance to get this done again. Last time they matched up, though, he crushed it. He went for 24. He had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. We look at his attempts, though. He shot great, 75% from the field, but he only had 8 attempts. We know that that's up to like 13, 15 right now. So if he's in rhythm, I think he should be able to do at least have a similar outing. So feeling good about it. If we take a look here, we have a note. So Outliers just kind of letting us know that on top of the 5 games straight, they got a note here for us. He's exceeded 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 4 out of his last 5 games on the road, too. So he's been playing pretty solid on the road, averaging 22 PRA on the road. So 80% hit rate. Just this one game here on January 25th, where he didn't really get it done. He just barely missed it. He went for 16. So one more point, rebound, or assist would have cashed it. But that was, also another tough outing, 77th rank overall. So yeah, I'm feeling good about this. Let's see here. So for these road games over this stretch, like we mentioned, those attempts are up. He's averaging 12.4 attempts over these last 5 road games, shooting 45% from the field, and similar from beyond the arc, 7.8 attempts, 3.2 made threes a game on the road right now, and then 31.6 minutes. So the minutes are solid. This is almost the exact same. All these numbers are looking almost the exact same as his last 5 games in general, where he's just been killing it. So I love it. I love the value, 16.5 when he's been averaging 20 or higher. So feeling really good about this. Let's see what Daily Grind thinks about this play. Yep, they got it at the very tip top. So they have it as his best play. They have it at a 50.82% odds, hit the over minus 126. Not like heavily juiced, but it is their favorite play for him. They also like his points over 11.5. I think that looks great too. 50.55% odds, hit the over minus 123. They don't like his points, rebounds alone. They don't like his points, assists alone. And that's not necessarily because he's not capable of doing that. It's just they're looking at the value, and they think the better value is with the full PRA versus taking these individually. So yeah, we have a couple options here. If you don't want to go PRA, you could go with points, but I'm just going to roll the whole PRA because I loved what I saw from him in that last game, and he seems to have been kind of like, on a burner right now over these last 5 games, and then playing good on the road as well. All right, so next up we got Coleman Hawkins. Man, we had this at 20.5, and then it got bumped. I was locking it in, and then I got that little notification from Prizepicks. Do you accept the changes? I was like, oh my gosh. But that's probably good, because now I can show you guys that I like the 21.5 as well. And it's not just like me having to tell you in the comments that I still like it. But I went back and I looked at it again, and I do feel good about it. So if we look at just for starters, it's not like he's been crushing this, but he has been hitting it more than half the time. 52% hit rate on the 2024 season, 13 out of 25 games. And then if we look at the away games, he's been playing really solid. So the reason I loved, it's not that big of a deal, but the reason that I loved the 20.5 is because This was 8 out of his last 9 games. He hit, he exceeded the 20.5, but this one game here on the 4th, he went for 21 flat. So we're still happy with 7 out of his last 9, still 78% hit rate on the road. So yeah, feeling good about it. Let's take a look at these last 5. So 4 out of his last 5, he's got it done. And then this last outing, he only went for 14. Tough matchup though in that game. And then we've got 36.6 minutes a game. So we're getting plenty of minutes. And then 36% from the field. So we know that he could bring this shooting percentage up. 36 isn't anything to be like, bragging about. 10.6 attempts, I'd like to see that go up a little bit too. But yeah, I mean, even shooting 36%, he still got this done 4 out of his last 5 games. So been really solid with the rebounds and assists as of late. Although in that last game, he had 8 rebounds, no assists. But it's just a middle of the road matchup with points, rebounds, and assists. So nothing too scary, nothing too juicy either. But just like a middle of the road matchup that I think he should be able to take care of. Actually, my bad. That's his last 5 on the road. So he's gone 3 out of his last 5 total, not 4 out of his last 5. That's my bad. The away game setting was still on. So yeah, and just his regular last 5 games, 36.6 minutes, 2.8 fouls, 35%. So yeah, once again, needs to clean that up a little bit, but averaging 1.4 made threes a game. And then if you look at these last 2 games where he hasn't got it done, his shooting in general has been a little bit rough. 18% against Arizona, and then 22% in this last game. So 2 of 9, 2 of 11. I know that you're thinking, probably what I was first thinking is like, okay, do we want to take this then if he's kind of like not in rhythm right now? But one thing I like about, like, if you take a look at the 2024 season when things started to heat up, anytime he's kind of gone through this type of a situation where his numbers are down, he bounces back. And this is just what helped me make my decision. You guys don't have to follow this, but, poor outing here, bounces back, and then goes on a burner against some tough teams and some soft matchups, and then has another down game, which wasn't too much of a down game. He still went for 21, but then bounced back. He's never gone 3 straight games where he hasn't adjusted and made up for it. So you see this poor outing, 16 PRA, then he cleans it up, goes for 20, and then all of a sudden he's back in the groove, 32, 24, 22, goes on another burner. So now we've got 2 more games here. He has a down game, 12 PRA, cleans it up a little bit the following game, 14. I think that this could be that next bounce back. Even here at the beginning of the season, where he wasn't as high. I would imagine if you were taking these lines, he was probably still beating his lines in these first 6 games, but they've just adjusted the line is what I'm seeing here when I look at the data. I'm like, okay, so he was consistently, he went, I would guess his lines were probably at 17.5, 18.5. And then he was clearing that. So the line went up. So what you're looking at is his current line based off of his play compared to his earlier games. And he's been improving over the season, but I really do love the fact that he hasn't ever had 3 straight games where he didn't clean things up. So I think he's absolutely due. And we see the trends, like I said, poor game, better game, back in rhythm, poor game, better game. Now today should be back in rhythm. That's the way I look at it. So feeling good about it. We don't have a head-to-head to compare to, but let's see. Yeah, so this is just that note we talked about. So 7 of his last 9 games, he's averaged 23.3. So not crazy higher than the 21.5 that we're taking it at, but I do expect him to be able to get this done. And once again, the 2 down games, and it's time for him to bounce back. So let's see if I'm right about this. Let's take a look at daily grind. Okay, so they love his points rebounds. If you'd rather take that, 17.5 must be one of the lines that didn't get bumped yet. So when the 20.5 bumped to 21.5, I'm guessing the points rebounds are the ones that haven't been adjusted yet, because this is super green. If you'd rather take this, take this. It's your decision to make. But they love it at 17.5, 55.83% odds hit the over, minus 155. So this is about to hit 18.5 if it hasn't already. Did he get bumped again? I gotta make another decision. It's showing that he's at 22 now. So go with your gut. Okay, so man, they're moving his lines quickly. So the 17.5 points rebounds is gone. They have his points at 11.5, so that might be the remaining one that hasn't been bumped yet. Let's look at his points real quick. I'm locked in at 21.5. I need to get to 22 for this to cash. So, if you take the 22, you're just at a little bit higher risk of a push. But let's look at his points, and in case you guys want to take that. So, man, the points. See, I just like having everything else attached personally. Let's look at away games. Look at his last 5 away games. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they don't look that juicy. Let's look at his attempts. So yeah, I mean, he was putting up the attempts. If he cleans up his shooting, yeah, it's just someone who's averaging 10 attempts. I don't know if I want just points alone. So I think I would still take the PRA at 22 personally versus the points at 11.5, but you guys can decide. Let's refresh it. Sometimes it just keeps getting moved around a lot. So this may go back down to 21.5. They do like his points assists at 15.5. That might be something I would be more interested in than just the points alone. Let's take a look here. Okay, so points assist feels better, 15.5. If you look at his last 5 games, it's the similar outcome to his full PRA. 3 games in the green, and then 2 games where he fell off, and we're hoping for a bounce back today. And then let's take a look. Bigger sample size here, 50% of the time, and then we've got 3 straight games where he's 15 on the dot. So one more would have cashed all 3 of those, and then you could easily be looking at 8 out of his last 10. So yeah, I personally want something attached there. See points rebounds. Sorry, I don't usually like to take this long for plays. Points rebounds looks good. Yeah, so he's got, I know just 4 of 10, but we've got 4 games here where one more point or rebound would have cashed it. So he's right there on that line. And then he does have a middle of the road matchup here today. So yeah, I kind of like the points assists, points rebounds, but they're moving his stuff all over the place right now. So go with your gut. If it were me, man, I'm probably still wanting a little bit of everything with the full PRA. Let's take a look. Let's just look at the 22. No, they're not even giving us the option. Let me refresh Outlier, see if they're giving us the option here. We got more outlines yet. There it is. Okay, so 22. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so on the 22, so we're going to let's go to his last 10 away games. Yeah, I think I'm still rolling the 22. I know it's a little bit riskier, so you guys make the decision. You don't have to take this play at all, but he's still 7 out of his last 10 road games. He's exceeded the 22. So I'm just saying comparatively to the points alone, I would rather just do the full PRA at 22. So, all right, let's keep it rolling. All right, so Jake Wahlin, I'm probably saying his name wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I like this at just 5.5 rebounds, and I'm probably going to bump up and throw him in a demon slip too. Look at his matchup, super green for rebounds. He's been getting the minutes, and he's kind of like I'm always looking for trends, and so. Back here on the 11th, he goes for 7 in a tough matchup. And then middle of the road matchup, he pops off for 12 on the 15th. So to me, like, this guy is probably going to keep delivering. That's the kind of trends I look for. Averaging 28 minutes over his last 5. But look at these home games. The home games look even better. 4 out of his last 5, he's got it done. And then that last game where he went for 12 was a home game. So this is the main reason I like this. We've got 4 out of his last 5 home games We've got back-to-back games where he's gone for 7 or more, and then we've got a really soft matchup here. So in these last 5 home games, he's averaging 27 minutes. It seems to be like sort of the sweet spot for him. And even in one of these games, he played 18 minutes. He still went for 6 boards and above average matchup as far as rebounds allowed. So that's the main reason I like this. Keeping it simple for this one, not attaching a whole lot of stuff. Just get up there and get some boards. You've been doing that a lot lately. Now you have a soft matchup. So that's kind of what I'm counting on here. Let's take a look at Daily Grind. See what they think about this. Okay, so they like his points over 8. They have that super juiced 54.39% odds hit the over minus 141. They like his full PRA, just slightly. I mean, it's a little bit more than slightly. It's a 51.68% odds at the over minus 131. They like his points rebounds, 50.52, minus 126. And they do like the rebounds, just slightly, 50.29% odds hit the over minus 128. And just about everybody that has this available at 5.5 has it either a 50-50 shot or juice to the over. They also like his rebounds and assists over 7. Let's look at some of these real quick. See if you guys want to pivot to something else. So the assist matchup is really solid too. This is just absolutely green. He doesn't assist the ball that much though. That's my thing. So like he has, so let's take a look here. So, I mean, I'm talking about a player getting in rhythm. He has been lately. So, he has 2 assists in a tough matchup and then 3 assists in his last 2 games. Other than that, it's just 1. 0 assists, 1 assist, 1 assist. Let's look at his last 10. Let's just go to assists alone. Yeah, so this, it's a 1.5 point bump. It's at 7. We're getting the rebounds at 5.5. So he's only exceeded that 1.5 3 out of his last 10 games. So the full, 1.5 point bump to add the assists isn't worth it to me. I'd rather just take the rebounds where he's gone 6 out of his last 10. And then let's look at his last 10 for home games, actually, because we know that the last 5 looks good. So yeah, it's still just a 50% hit rate his last 10 home games, but we know these last 5 he's been in rhythm, and then coming off that 12 board game, and then a much softer matchup tonight. So I'm still sticking with the rebounds. That's what's popping off on my radar, but there are some other overs here. We'll keep it rolling, but I'll show you guys the PRA real quick in case you're interested in that. So yeah, PRA is 2 out of his last 10 games, and then we have 2 pushes. So at best, 4 out of his last 10. But let's look, maybe the home games look better. No, still, I'm just going rebounds. Points are actually a little bit tougher too. Not like super tough matchup, but it's not as juiced as the rebounds and the assists. So rebounds it is for me. That's what I'm gonna be rolling. So KJ Lewis to wrap things up. So I like this guy a lot. I'm getting to know college ball, but from what I've seen from him, I really like this dude a lot. He's cleared this in 3 out of his last 5 games. We cashed him the other night, but I believe we had some points attached. And after watching the game, I was like, okay, so I actually like him for more like rebounding and some assists here and there, because he is capable of dishing the ball and grabbing a decent amount of assists in some of these games. He's a little volatile, but you can see back here, 4 assists, 5 assists. Then it's just like 1, 2, 2, but still, we have the rebounds attached as well. So 3 out of his last 5, he's cleared this. And then most recently against Houston, really tough matchup. I believe that's who that is. 6th overall opponent rank with rebounding and assisting. But he still went for 8. And then what I love is if you look at this head-to-head, last time they played, he really popped off. Only 4 rebounds, but 7 assists. The assists are super juiced. 313th in assists allowed. A little bit tougher for rebounding, 99th, but he still went for 4. That was just in 25 minutes. And it's not like this game was a blowout. So he only got 25 minutes. This was just on January 14th too. So this isn't like from last year or anything, but 7 assists. I think that I'm comfortable with the 8. Do I think that we have a chance for a push here? I would love it at 7.5. The push is, possible for sure, because 8 is right on that mark. If this was at 7.5, it would be so juiced, but I'm comfortable with 8. He went for 11 last time they played, and let's take a look here. Okay, so I'll share this with you guys just so you can make an informed decision. He's failed to exceed it in 14 out of his last 18 games on the road. It's averaging 5.8. So you got to go with your gut here. That's definitely not a marker that we like. But he's passing the eye test for me with what I've seen recently. And I do like this matchup for him, especially since he went for 11 last time they played. So I'm feeling good about it. You guys go with your gut. He did that in just 25 minutes last time, and he's been averaging almost 30 minutes a game over these last 5. So love the matchup. Let's take a look here. Daily Grind's probably not going to like this one, I'm guessing. They like his points assists over 15. They actually do like the rebounds and assists. It's not super juice, but they have it favored to the over. So 50.17% odds hit the over -125. This is what I was talking about. If we had the 7.5, the only platform offering 7.5 has it at a -160 to go over. So sometimes I look at it as this is a -160 to at least push. So it's, it's a little bit less sweaty when you look at it that way of like, okay, like I want to hit all 4 of these, but if one pushes, it's not the end of the world, So feeling comfortable with all 4 of these. I'm trying to get these videos out early for you guys because I'm a morning person. So I try to just get after my day a little bit earlier. Not that I'm getting this video out super early, but I probably spent a good hour looking at plays today. The one thing is the later I put the video out, the more options we have. But the earlier I put the video out, the options we do have, we get them at a better value. So you guys let me know, I guess, in the comments if you prefer more of a variety or you want like a little bit less plays to pick from, but we're getting these lines before they get bumped in some cases. So if you guys want to check out this app, the DFS optimizer from Daily Grind, it does help you make decisions like this. And when you don't have a particular player in, it just shows you everybody. So they love So Jake Wahlin, they still love that points over 8. They have it at a 54.27% odds at the over -140. And then Doug McDaniel, they like the under there. Let me see if there's more overs that you guys might want to take a look at. David Ingessen, I don't know how to say his last name, but they like him over 12.5 points. They like Zion James, I hope I'm saying that right. Points assists over 11. They like that to go over. Coleman Hawkins, they've got that 11.5 points, which I still just, I don't want the points alone personally. I'm still rolling the PRA even if it's at 22. But you can try this out though, this optimizer. You still have to pay, but you get 25% off if you use code BACKDOOR. And they'll let you lock that in all the way up to a year if you prefer. And then my absolutely favorite app to use, Outlier. You can try this one out for free. Just sign up through the link below for Outlier, and they're going to give you a full week to check it out and just see how you like it. And I always encourage everybody, if you try this app, go through and play with these settings, learn how to use it, because it is amazing, but there is a little bit of a learning curve. It's pretty self-explanatory when you first get in here, but just get to know it. It's a piece of software that has all sorts of settings that will help you make informed decisions. So have some fun with it. You can take players in and out of the equation and see what the guy you're looking at has done without that player available, which I think is huge. You can bounce between away games and home games. They give you these little notes about players. The insights, which is awesome. You have specific matchups to each stat category. And then you've got injury reports. And they have the insights tab over here too, where you can kind of just scroll through the insights and they give you a little note about whether, they like something to go over or under. And you can actually just click on the button. It'll take you to that prop on that platform. It's pretty sweet. And then if you play NBA, this gives you even more. Like it's beautiful. Hopefully they'll be able to do it for college eventually, but it's way more teams to cover. But for the NBA, it'll say, hey, they had this many assists. They had this many potential assists. So you can monitor like, okay, he was trying to facilitate, but guys were just missing their shots. They show you potential rebounds, how many he could have had, how many he grabbed. Like, it's so awesome. So go check it out for free. Let me know what you think. But guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully we get the sweep today. It won't be long before we got NBA back. We'll be running college and NBA. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate the support. You guys have been awesome. So don't forget to like the video, drop me a comment, and good luck tonight, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.